You're 7 years old. You wear a robe stitched with dragons, a crown heavier than your head, and every grown man in this room would slit your throat before sundown if it bought him another year of power. Congratulations. You're the son of heaven, the most powerful child on earth, which in the Tang Dynasty means you're the most expensive hostage ever born. You won't rule this empire. You'll be carried through it, dragged, drugged, distracted, and eventually disposed of. Because the Tang throne isn't a seat of power. It's a trap. And you just walked into it. Here's the rule nobody explained to you. The empire runs on one signature. Yours. Every army that marches, every official appointed, every execution ordered, it all flows through one seal. Your seal, your hand, your body. Whoever holds you, holds the empire. The palace is split in two. The outer court, where ministers and scholars handle the bureaucracy. The inner court, where you eat, sleep, and breathe. And the only people allowed to walk between the two are the eunuchs. So they don't need to overthrow you. They just need to stand between you and the door, and they will. Why a child? It's not love, it's not tradition, it's selection. A grown prince is dangerous. He has opinions, allies, a mother who's already buried her enemies. But a child? A child is soft clay. He won't argue when you redirect the treasury. He won't ask why his uncle was exiled. He won't notice when his own edicts are forged in his name. The court didn't pick you despite your weakness. They picked you because of it. You weren't crowned. You were assigned. 3 shadows stand between you and the empire. The first is the woman who calls herself your regent, the Empress Dowager. She holds your hand in public and your throne in private, and her family is already on the payroll. The second is your own bloodline. Princes who were passed over, cousins who were promised more, aunts with armies. The third are the eunuchs, and by the late Tang, they are the most dangerous men alive. They started as servants, bath attendants, cooks, castrated men with no families, supposedly too broken to ever plot a dynasty. That was the theory. Then someone gave them an army. The Shent's guards, the elite imperial troops, were handed to the eunuchs by emperors who believed a man with no children could never betray them. By the time anyone noticed the mistake, the eunuchs commanded the only soldiers who mattered inside the capital. Ministers bribed them, generals saluted them, and emperors started dying. Meet Li Chongmao. He's a teenager when his father, Emperor Zhongzong, suddenly drops dead. Officially, illness. Unofficially, his own wife, Empress Wei, poisoned him. She wants to be the next Wu Zetian. To do that, she needs a puppet. So she crowns the boy. He sits on the throne for 17 days. 17. Before the second week is out, his aunt, Princess Taiping, launches a coup. Imperial guards mutiny in the courtyards. Empress Wei is hacked to death in her own palace. And while Li Chongmao is still physically sitting on the imperial throne, his aunt walks up the steps, grabs him by the collar, and yanks him off the seat like a misbehaving toddler. He's stripped of his title, marched out of the capital under 500 guards. He'll die in exile a few years later, a footnote in his own dynasty. That's the floor of this story. Now watch how much worse it gets. Emperor Jingzong takes the throne at 15. The eunuchs around him don't bother with politics. They just keep him drunk. Wine, concubines, polo, endless polo. Why teach a teenager to govern when you can teach him to swing a mallet until his arms fail? 3 years in, his own polo partner helps murder him in a palace plot. He's 18. The eunuchs simply pick the next brother. Wenzong. Wenzong is different. Wenzong is awake. He spends years playing the obedient puppet while quietly building a strike team. The plan is clean. lure the top eunuchs into a courtyard with a fake divine omen, miraculous sweet dew appearing on a pomegranate tree. The eunuchs go to inspect the miracle. Hidden soldiers spring the trap. End of dictatorship. December 14th, 835. The eunuchs walk into the courtyard. The general escorting them is sweating in winter. Then a gust of wind blows back a canvas screen, and behind it, hundreds of armed men, frozen in ambush position. The eunuchs run. They sprint back to the throne hall, grab Wenzong's litter, beat his chancellor away, and physically drag the Emperor of China deep into the inner palace. They bolt the gates behind them. Then they release the Shen's armies on everything outside. Over 1,000 officials, guards, and bystanders are slaughtered inside the government offices. Chancellors are tortured and chopped in half in the public market. Their families exterminated. Wenzong survives, if you want to call it that. The head eunuch curses him to his face, in front of the staff, and Wenzong, the son of heaven, sits there and cannot speak. Years later, he'll say the kings of old were ruled by warlords, but he was ruled by his own house slaves. He dies a prisoner inside his own home. Emperor Shizong is 11 when he's crowned. He doesn't even pretend to rule. From day one, he belongs to a eunuch named Tian Lingzi, who used to look after his stables when he was just a prince. Tian writes the edicts. Tian commands the armies. Tian decides who's loyal and who quietly disappears. Then the Huangchao rebellion explodes. Peasant armies, burning provinces. The capital, Chang'an, falls. So Tian grabs the boy and runs. He doesn't escort the emperor to safety. He hauls him into Sichuan like luggage. Through bandit country, past mutinying warlords, past cities the imperial army no longer controls. Zizong isn't fleeing. He's being moved. A relic in a wooden box. Useful only because his seal still legitimizes whatever Tian needs signed that week. He dies in his 20s without ever really seeing his capital again. And the dynasty he abandoned has one child left to break. Li Zuo, Emperor Ai, 11 years old. A warlord named Zhu Wen, a former salt smuggler turned military strongman, has just murdered the boy's father and shoved the boy onto the throne. Zhu doesn't bother with eunuchs. He just owns the empire now, and the boy is his pen. Within a year, Ai is forced to sign edicts that destroy his own world. 30 senior nobles, the cream of the Tang aristocracy, are marched to a riverbank and ordered to commit suicide. Their bodies dumped in the Yellow River. Ai signs the order. 9 of his own brothers are hunted down and killed. Ai signs that order. His mother, the Empress Dowager, is strangled inside her chambers. And then Ai is forced to issue a public edict defaming her, calling his own dead mother a disgrace, stripping her to commoner status. He's 14 when he signs his final document, the abdication. 3 centuries of Tang Dynasty, ended by the shaking hand of a 14-year-old boy. Zhu Wen exiles him to a small mansion, builds a fence of thorns around it, and 1 year later, sends in the poison. Emperor Ai dies at 15. Here's the part history teachers leave out. The average Tang emperor lived to about 45. Of the 25 sovereigns of the dynasty, more than a third were murdered outright. Nearly half died from drinking toxic immortality elixirs, mercury, arsenic, sulfur, chasing eternal life and finding it inside a cup. The vast majority of the most powerful men in Tang China died screaming. Being emperor wasn't the safest job in the empire. It was statistically one of the deadliest jobs in the ancient world. So no, you weren't a ruler. You were a seal, a signature, a small body in a big robe, kept alive only as long as the men around you needed your name on their orders. The eunuchs ate the army, The dowagers ate the court. The warlords ate the dynasty. And you ate whatever they put in front of you, until the day they decided not to. From the outside, the Tang Dynasty was the most spectacular civilization on the planet. Biggest city, richest court, poetry the world still reads 1,000 years later. But for the children sat on its throne, all that splendor was just the wallpaper of a cell. The empire survived. The child never did.